If they have an ability user like this, why didn't they just finish off Izumo in the Kanto region? Zhang Yi couldn't help but put down his chopsticks. He had not thought about these questions carefully before. However, after hearing Yang Xinxin's analysis, a creepy feeling slowly arose in his heart. Are you saying that Blizzard City has a mole? Zhang Yi looked at Yang Xinxin and said, somewhat unbelieving. I'm not willing to believe it, Zhang Yi said. Shou Kir also said, a mole in Blizzard City? That's unlikely. What would they gain by cooperating with the Ronin? The others also expressed disbelief at this. Yang Xinxin, however, calmly said, although this sounds very absurd, no matter which angle you analyze it from, the strength of the Jiangnan region is definitely superior to that of the Ronin organization. Therefore, if we analyze it using normal logic, naturally we would not think that there is a traitor in Blizzard City. But what if we think about it from another perspective? Could it be that someone in Blizzard City is deliberately using Eclipse Moon against the Heavenly God Squad? As far as I know, Blizzard City is not united as one. Zhang Yi's words instantly gave him a wake-up call. The Deng family has a very high reputation and power in Blizzard City. Deng Shintong is, firstly, the successor of the Deng family, and secondly, there are rumors that the Deng family intends to elevate Deng Shintong to the position of successor to Zhu Zheng. After all, in the end times, life and death are unpredictable, and no one knows how long Zhu Zheng can live. Moreover, it is always necessary to prepare for the future and train a group of successors for old Zhu. This is to prevent accidents, similar to the ancient system of crown princes. Could it be that the Deng family's prestige and power in Blizzard City had threatened Zhu Zheng's position? Zhang Yi's thoughts became even more chaotic. When you think about it that way, the situation is much more terrifying and serious. Because Zhang Yi has no idea how many factions there are within Blizzard City. There's even a possibility that Zhu Zheng himself had joined forces to get rid of Deng Shintong. Yang Xinxin's powers of deduction opened a new set of doors for Zhang Yi. He had never imagined that there would be a traitor within Blizzard City. Even if there were struggles for power, no one would be so heartless as to cooperate with Eclipse Moon. However, after ruling out the impossible, the truth is always the most incredible of the remaining possibilities. In fact, Zhang Yi had been unable to figure out why the Heavenly God Squad had been so easily destroyed for some time. Even if they couldn't win, they could have escaped, right? At least Zhang Yi didn't have to expend much effort when he killed the 4 members of Eclipse Moon. This was of course related to his formidable strength, but the members of the Heavenly God Squad were no pushovers either. The most likely explanation was that the intelligence on all of them had been leaked to Eclipse Moon in advance. That was why they were restrained to the point of death during the battle. No one paid any attention to Zhang Yi, a mutant from the outer city. This allowed him to exploit a loophole and achieve the most brilliant result. Zhang Yi fell silent. It was all so complicated, he couldn't figure it out. He didn't want to get involved in other people's business. But now, he was in the middle of it. Could it be that he himself was also implicated in being stabbed in the back? Yang Xinxin saw Zhang Yi's troubled expression and continued to analyze the situation. Brother, Zhu Zheng wants you to be the captain and lead the new investigation team, right? Have you ever wondered why? Zhang Yi looked at Yang Xinxin and said, because my abilities can help them deal with Eclipse Moon. And from the previous siege campaign, it can be seen that I am very strong. Yang Xinxin nodded. There is certainly an element of this, and strength is important. After all, some people in the region really wanted to get rid of Deng Shintong, and they have already achieved their goal. So they don't really want the region to lose to Eclipse Moon. So next, no one will trip up Eclipse Moon in the process of besieging them. And the person leading the team, in addition to having a certain level of strength, also needs to have one characteristic, which is that they will not threaten the power of the higher-ups. After all, any local mutant in Blizzard City with sufficient strength must have a corresponding status. At this point, whoever defeats Eclipse Moon and restores the face of the Jiangnan region or even the entire Huashu Kingdom will see their reputation soar to incredible heights. That person could potentially become Zhu Zheng's successor. And in Blizzard City, multiple forces are holding each other in check, and no one wants someone else to take the credit. Zhang Yi said thoughtfully, so, that's why they're pushing a foreigner from the outer city like me to the forefront, isn't it? I don't have any roots in Blizzard City. Even if I complete this mission, it won't pose any threat to the power of the higher-ups. Moreover, Zhang Yi suddenly smiled, I have always adopted a refusal attitude towards Blizzard City's attempts to recruit me. This also shows that I am a person who is not yearning for power or Blizzard City. Even if I complete the task and become a hero in people's eyes, they can still let me continue to stay in Tianhai City. I see. Zhang Yi himself is not stupid, and after Yang Xinxin's analysis, he suddenly understood some things. It's really not easy to wade through this mess. Zhang Yi sighed. Yang Xinxin, however, laughed and said, in fact, brother, you don't need to worry so much. Because in my opinion, if it really turns out that way, you will actually be safer. Because with you as the captain of the Tengu squad, there will be relative peace within Blizzard City, and the major forces in the shadows will be able to reach a consensus and not trip over each other. Zhang Yi shrugged, I hope so. Anyway, I've made up my mind. This mission is very challenging. If things go bad, I'll just run away and save my life first. He is a real lone wolf. The main thing is that Zhang Yi has a very clear understanding of himself. He is not arrogant just because he has awakened powerful abilities and is better at fighting. This incident of Eclipse Moon involves too many things behind the scenes, just like a huge roulette wheel. Everyone in the roulette wheel could become a victim. One must be careful and cautious in every step, and not let one's head be clouded by passion. Yang Xinxin lowered her head and gave a mysterious smile. Since you're worried, brother, take me with you when you go back this time. With Xinxin there, I can help you make decisions, can I? After a long speech, the little witch revealed her true purpose. She could only stand by Zhang Yi's side and demonstrate her abilities when Zhang Yi needed them. Zhang Yi looked deeply at Yang Xinxin. The young girl's thoughts were written on her face, not hidden in the slightest. After some consideration, Zhang Yi said, you have never experienced a real battlefield. People can die in battle, and I can't even guarantee that I can always be by your side to protect you. Do you understand? Although Yang Xinxin has now awakened her supernatural powers, Zhang Yi is still unsure of how effective they will be. The thought of an 18-year-old girl like this appearing on the battlefield and something unexpected happening is one he dares not even think about. But Yang Xinxin said seriously to Zhang Yi, Xinxin won't cause any trouble for you, brother. Don't treat Xinxin like a child. And for this mission, it's safer to have someone close to you, isn't it? Uncle Yu also spoke up at this point. He gave a serious suggestion after slapping his thigh, you're right, Zhang Yi. The people in Blizzard City may not be trustworthy, so it's better to use our own people. Let me go with you. Zhang Yi hurriedly waved his hand. Don't be silly. This opponent is no joke. Even Blizzard City has carefully selected its elite to participate in the battle. I'll think about it. He felt that he really needed Yang Xinxin by his side. In terms of intelligence, Yang Xinxin was much more useful than him. Zhang Yi's intelligence was sufficient for dealing with small matters, but there were obviously many implications at the moment. Moreover, Yang Xinxin came from the upper class and had more contact with those in power than he did. He has to find a way to fight the war, and he has to deal with the undercurrents in Blizzard City. He really doesn't have that much time or energy. On the other hand, bringing Yang Xinxin along will give him a chance to observe her supernatural powers and train her combat abilities. At worst, Flower can be in charge of protecting her. After dinner, Zhang Yi chatted with everyone for a while, telling them not to go out and to keep an eye on Tianhai City. Then, he pretended to go back to his room to rest. However, he quietly went to Yang Xinxin's room. Yang Xinxin was sitting on the princess bed with fans, looking up at him with a pretty face. Brother, I knew you would come. This is your choice, so you have to know what will happen. Zhang Yi took a deep breath, taking out 2 guns and handed them to Yang Xinxin. These two guns have little recoil, so you shouldn't have any problems using them. But you still need to practice regularly. You don't need to be a good shot, just use them for self-defense. One gun is loaded with normal bullets, for use against ordinary people. The other gun is loaded with origin bullets, for use against mutants. Yang Xinxin was very happy to receive the guns. Zhang Yi gave her a weapon, which meant that he wanted to take her with him. In front of Zhang Yi, Yang Xinxin skillfully disassembled the gun, inspected the interior and the magazine, and then assembled it again after making sure that everything was in order. Seeing Zhang Yi's surprised expression, Yang Xinxin smiled and said, "Actually, I've been practicing my marksmanship. I don't need my brother to remind me of these kinds of things. I can do it on my own." Zhang Yi couldn't help but laugh. "You really have been planning this for a long time." He ran his hand along his chin, his gaze sweeping over Yang Xinxin's petite and cute body. Yang Xinxin looked bashful. "Tonight, why don't you stay here and sleep?" Zhang Yi froze for a moment, then shook his head and laughed. "Stop it. When we get to Blizzard City, I'll get you a suitable set of battle armor to wear." Yang Xinxin's legs had only just recovered, and her physical fitness was not particularly good. When the time comes, he will have to ask Zhu Jing to get Yang Xinxin a battle suit no matter what he says. His people must be as safe as he is. Flower will follow you and keep you safe. When we get to the battlefield, I will try to keep you close to me. But if we encounter a powerful mutant, you should get away from me as quickly as possible. Zhang Yi carefully explained the details Yang Xinxin needed to pay attention to on the battlefield. This made Yang Xinxin's gaze become more and more gentle, like water dissolving. "Brother, you are really good." The next morning, Zhang Yi called a few people from the major base forces to his home. He told Xiao Honglian, Xing Tian, and Qin Jingwan about the siege of Eclipse Moon. The three of them looked very worried. Zhang Yi said to them, "It's good to know fear. For the next period of time, you must all stay inside the base and take care of yourselves." "Understood." The base leaders replied. "Especially you," Zhang Yi said, turning to Qin Jingwan. "If the enemy wants to attack Tianhai City, they will most likely do so by sea. So your people need to keep a lookout along the coastline." Qin Jingwan was a little nervous. "I will have someone keep a close eye on the sea. It won't be easy for them to come over. After all, one of our naval forces is patrolling the sea." Zhang Yi gazed out the window and thought to himself, Yang Xinxin's analysis last night might turn out to be interesting.